Hey guys, welcome to another stream. Let me just get the chat up. Let me just do this. Hang on. What's going on? Are we live? Should be live. Should be live. There we go. Ebbit, good to see you. There we go. Brian, Ebbit, good to see you. Testing 1, 2, 3. Right, let me just try something here. Jeff, how are you doing? Did you just send me an email? I think you did, didn't you? Hopefully it's not too bright on the screen here. Sam, good to see you. Right, sorry I'm a bit late today. It's been crazy. I'm recovering from another bloody cold, unfortunately. I seem to be getting a lot of those at the moment. Bill, good to see you. Right, now there's a little thing in the background here. Let me just see if this is working. Ooh, okay. That one. No. That one. Okay, can I expand that? No. Okay, I just need to grab this one and change this to here. Hey Matt, how are you doing? That is always a good question to ask Sam, actually, Bill. You just never quite know what country Sam's going to be in. Vincent, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. So I'm going to go over what I've been doing this week. I did a little update on Kickstarter and I posted it on Facebook as well. Talking a little bit about what I've been up to. Cody! Congratulations on the Kickstarter so far, amazing. That event card is really cool. I like how you're able to fit the loot table on the same card. Wolf Shield Bez, how are you doing? Good to see you, my friend. So, yes, I've just it just all sort of came. I thought, oh, that's a good. I do that, and then suddenly event cards were invented. I mean, obviously, lots of other games have event cards, but for 2D6 Dungeon, it was new, and I thought a nice little kind of seasonal thing. I'm going to go over this, talk about it, and we'll just see how it's implemented, and then maybe we'll talk about some other ideas for event cards. Just see how we're doing here. Hello, how long left on the Kickstarter? Prestige. Good question. I think it's about 20 days. I think it finishes on the 2nd or 3rd. Something like that. Sam. But next week, who knows? It will still be Canada. Yes, lol. Exactly. Tom, good to see you. 19 days, yes. 18 days. 17, 16. Ah! It's all kind of rushing. Right, let me just add in another source here. I just want to grab this. Yeah, so it's been crazy. I've got my sister coming tomorrow. And my mum coming over because we are going to see the special Christmas lights in Cambridge, which is just a 20-minute drive from here. Lovely Cambridge. And Here we go. Good. That can pop in the background. Hopefully, yes. Have a look at that after we've done. Look to this one here. Guess it depends on which part of the world you're in. That's true. I hadn't thought about that actually. That is a very good point. So I think what we'll do is Creepy Hero. Good to see you, my friend. Greetings all. Johnny's here. I made it. Hello everyone. Johnny's been leaving messages on the YouTube vlogs or the whatever you call them after the event, but has made it today. Good to see you, Johnny. Johnny O. What else have I didn't miss anything here? Thanks, Cody, for that nice comment. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through the little update that I put on here. Just talk a bit about the development of the game and how it's going and how that has evolved and changed kind of as we've gone along. Maybe a few little stresses around that which have concerned me, not because we're behind or anything. In fact, I think I'm ahead of schedule if anything, but expectations that I'm trying to fulfill, but haven't quite been able to do that for some people. I hope you plan to do more event cards. I like them. I am indeed. Tom. Jim. Hi all, good to see you, Jim. Bill, is your computer ready for the live stream? It is. That is a good question. So after last week, when we had a little bit of glitching, thankfully YouTube does this thing where it suspends and you can just come back in and carry on, thankfully, even though I've turned the computer off and turned it back on. So I went in and I looked at the patches and it had a number of updates that were optional, right? So I looked at them and one of them was like quite integral to the computer in a sense. Some sort of image for the computer, and there was a couple of other updates that I thought, they could affect it as well. So none of these were on automatic updating, although the main ones are. These ones weren't deemed to be essential, which is weird because my computer was still crashing. But since I've updated it, I've had no crashing. I say, touch wood, touch MDF. So we'll see how it goes. I just, fingers crossed. And so I did spend about an hour looking into it, and ultimately I think, although I just feel like I've just cursed it completely. So it has been a crazy week. I'm going to go for the update, then I'm going to look at the Frost Goblins and event cards, and potentially, we can have a little think about what people were hoping, what other events people might hope for. Maybe a little bit of a brainstorming session towards the end. Okay, so that's the one we want. What's going on for the minute? Okay, so we have got the update. Now this is what I put on to the thing, and there's a couple of points here I just wanted to stress for people. Firstly, development of the game has, I think I said this before, it has been a different experience in 2D6 Dungeon, because before I was able to release the levels, but I still haven't got it to the point where I feel like I can release what the content I've got, and for people that for the playtesters to kind of grab it and get a proper sense of what the game is about. Because I've done about a third of the encounter tables. Each encounter table is lengthy, it's involved. Each section of an encounter table might point to another table, or has a quest associated with it, or it involves some of the items that you need to find to then maybe forge the the mythical armor and the fabled weapon. So those things are that is largely kind of what I'm working on. And at the moment, there's not enough of that for me to say, right, testers, here's the thing to take. Now, some of you have seen it, look, to do map generation, but you guys know, and you're in the chat here, you know that it's by nowhere near complete, and that there's a sort of there's a gaping hole for that content that you need to fill, and that is coming. It's just taking a bit longer than I had anticipated to have. That I didn't realize I need more of it to make it more playable. This is how I'm feeling about it at the moment. So all you wonderful testers who are out there waiting for the content, it is coming. It's just that I don't want you to take it and then have more questions and more holes, and then that wouldn't necessarily be very constructive for me. And you could probably, you might even feel a bit put off about the whole thing because it's kind of incomplete. Oh, you're attempting the network pixies now. I am, Jim. Yeah. I love the pixies and the gremlins and all those guys. They can come and join and be on the stream as much as they like. They are very welcome. Jeff says there's a lot of depth and a lot entwined, so totally get it. As always, don't rush. Thanks, Jeff. Now, I need to hear these things from you guys because I'm always thinking about the balance, making sure that the people that are involved with this get their hands on it as much as possible, but that when they get it, they can make sense of it, And I sent that early draft to a few people to sort of get a feel for it, and the stuff that came back was fantastic, and there is going to be more stuff. So that is there for you guys. So in the update, I put in here. So this is a new thing that I'm going to do because I was kind of just throwing stuff out, and I was realizing some people weren't really seeing how the development was going. We were seeing stuff about the stretch goals, which was fantastic. We had some good feedback from that, and I was putting those out, and people were seeing the new races, the new ancestries. That is a word we want to get away from. I agree. We don't want you to burn. Thanks, Sam. Yeah. No, I. The thing, right? I've had like a couple of colds just recently, head colds, and that has been the thing that's kind of got me a little bit. So I've been trying to work through those, and it's also I've got my wife works at a school, and I've got my youngest at school, and they're kind of reaching the end of the term, and they're kind of experiencing a bit of burnout. So there's a sense of tiredness in the house, unfortunately. I'm writing and working hard every day. I'm up at 7. I mean, I'm off. It's not uncommon for me to be working till 7, so doing a 12-hour day with very little breaks, and I kind of put my head down. I don't need to say this to you guys, but I just feel like, because I know that I'm working hard on this product. It's just that I think it's quite nice for you to be able to see the bigger picture as well. Kind of how everything's coming together. I really like the different backgrounds as stretch goals. Cool. Yeah, and we've got those characters coming through, and then there's going to be some more exciting stuff coming for the stretch goals that precede the ones that we're going to finish off soon. So, yeah, there's lots of exciting things to happen there. So I thought what I can do, and it will help me as well. I've always found if you're working on something, here's a really good tip for development and kind of understanding what you do. Now, I've done this as a teacher, I've done this as a practicing artist, and now I'm doing it as a game designer. Sit down, maybe a week or every other week, or every week if you can. Write a little summary of the things that you've done. And it's kind of like almost like a diary. I always recommend keeping diaries. I mean, I try and keep as much of a diary as possible. But what this does is allows you to reflect, and you can kind of look at what you've done and say, well, actually, I got more done than I thought I did. And I think that's a really positive thing. And so I'd recommend that to anybody who's doing this sort of thing. If you're creating something, look back on it and think. Because I tell you, if you're working in a bubble like I do, apart from you awesome guys out there helping me and giving me feedback, you don't have a lot of input, and you kind of forget. Weeks kind of blend into weeks, and kind of before you know it, you don't know what you're getting up to. Hopefully you'll take an Xmas break, time it with school holidays, recharge the batteries. Wolf Shield Bez, thanks for those kind words. Yeah, I am a workaholic. That's the problem, you see. I really struggle to sit down for more than 2 hours and watch something. So it's the constant. I kind of feel like I'm wasting my time if I'm not working, and it's a terrible thing to do, and it's probably really bad for me. The only time I can really I can escape it a little bit is when I'm on holiday, and even then I would have scheduled a whole bunch of work for me to do during the holiday. But it is partly I can kind of schedule the less maybe cerebral stuff to do, so I can maybe do some drawing or do some brainstorming. Same goes for writing out a narrative as you explore dungeon levels. Yeah, it's true. That is very true, Jeff. Exactly. Stopping is always hard. Going for a walk always helps me. Matt, you are so right. Fortunately, it's the muddy, bloody, miserable winter, and half the time it's raining. And just the way I am at the moment, I seem to be getting colds every time I go out in the rain. I'm generally quite a healthy person. I mean, I've got a sports background, so I'm not too bad. But the wheel's always turning, even when you're brushing your teeth. I know. Yeah, it's true. Believe it or not, it's got to the point now where when I say this isn't me bragging or anything. This is just what I enjoy doing. So when on downtime, I'll be in my head thinking up a new game. So because that's what I enjoy doing. I just enjoy thinking about making games, and so that can always then become work. I enjoy doing a bit of computer gaming, maybe a bit of retro gaming, maybe some of Shogun Total War, some of that original stuff, PC stuff, but going out with the missus, that sort of thing. Going to the cinema, I like going to the cinema. When you work, Creepy Hero says, when you work for someone else, the work day never ends. When you work for yourself, there's never enough time to get all the work you need to do. It's so true. When you're working for yourself, you have to really be in control of your hours. Otherwise, you get that burnout. When I worked, so it's I've been doing this full time now for a couple of years as the game as DR Games, and before that I was teaching, but then I was working in the evenings as well on DR Games to get it to this point where we could go full time on DR Games, and we want to get the Mrs. Jo into the company more. Now, she may not go full time into the company. She may come part time into the company. She already is part time in the company. She's packing up bags full of products in the background. So it's a massive. It's an engine that you got to keep turning. But we want her to maybe go part time in her role at the school, and then come part time into this side of things, and she'll have more control over her hours, and we'll, anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit now. Sorry about that. Yep, always hard to go out in the rain. I just put a podcast on in my walking boots. Yeah, man, I do. I try and get out every day. I have an exercise bike in the office. So what I'll do is I'll write. I'm intensely writing for a couple of hours, and then the writing kind of it tapers off a little bit, and then it's less intense. And I'm like, right, so pretty much tired myself out. So I'll jump on the bike for a minute, and then as I'm as I'm riding the bike, I'll be thinking of what to write next, and it allows me to sort of free think, and a bit of physical exertion gets your blood pumping, and then I'll come up with an idea for a bit of a ruin. Something happens in a ruin, and I'll write that down, jump back on the bike, and I keep my brain going with a bit of energy. Working from home means you're always at work. It does. You're right. James, how you doing? Good to see you. Hi all. I'll try and listen. I'll try at least listen in, but it's about dinner time here, so I may be distracted by that. James, welcome in again, my friend. Always good to have you here. Hardest boss you'll ever work for is yourself. Unless you are married, then it is your wife. Yeah. I think there's no doubt about it. You know, if you have a good relationship with your partner, then you're each a boss over the other, and hopefully you can help each other manage their lives, you know, in a positive kind of equal way, you know. Will we ever meet her on the live stream? Bill. She hates anything like that. I mean, there's no... I doubt that she would ever want it. She'd accidentally wander in by mistake at one point, probably. But she's definitely behind the scenes type person. She's very modest and does not like attention. That sort of attention, anyway. I end up buying a walking pad and a stand desk to help me. Always find standing helps me be more productive. Yeah, so I mix it up. So my writing, I write best in the morning. So I come down 7. I spend an hour doing all the admin and checking all the channels, doing that, trying to do as much as possible. And then I will write for until, say, maybe do 4 hours writing, and then I might have some lunch, and then I might write some more, or I might do some packing for an hour, but then I'll get some looser writing in the afternoon, and that's stuff that isn't as narrative driven. And for the stuff in the afternoon, I might have some other stuff, like maybe the iPad on with some YouTube stuff on. So there's some lighter stuff, and then the more intensive writing in the morning. So that's tends to be how I do it. I'm just very lucky. I'm just very lucky to be able to do what I do. And there's definitely when you're managing your own business and I've got 3 kids, they're teenagers, so they cost the earth. You know, we live near Cambridgeshire, it's bloody expensive. You know, stupidly high rates. Stefan, how are you doing? Toby, thank you for the multiplayer rules. Love to try them out. Yes, the multiplayer rules were very much it's kind of, sometimes I feel like I've got to just throw something out there. I had this idea, it's right out there. I've had a couple of people try it, and they're instantly kind of retracted from it, because I think that there's the one role in each round of combat is really throwing people, and because I think people's instinct is everybody should get a chance to hit in a round. And I was hoping to play around with that. That may not work. This was just the first iteration. So it may be that if you're playing with your 3 teenagers, like someone has told me that they're going to be doing, they're going to sit down, their teenagers are going to play, they're going to be in a combat sequence, and they're going to be like, well, Dad, why haven't I hit this round? Or, there's like, it's going to be like, don't I get hit as well? So, as a concept, I think it still really fascinates me, this concept of having the one role and then people feeding off that one role. Maybe we'll just add in, I think, Jeff, you said having a second role maybe might make it work. So we'll just have to have a look. But at the moment, it's still out there as the one role to rule them all, and that role is there to be knocked down. So we're going to see what happens. James, hi, loving hearing about how it works behind the scenes. Thank you, James. Lars, you get more accomplished in the morning than I do all day. Yeah, I don't know. I've just always been a intense kind of creative person. My wife's very patient. It is. I think when I was younger, I got smacked in the back of the head, and I think it changed me. I like the idea of one situational attack role, maybe 2 roles in a larger room. I think I like it because it's different than other systems. Well, I was trying to imagine that kind of like, if nobody kind of lines up, like you have a go, you have a go, you have a go, you go. If you're in a fight, suddenly everybody brawls in, one person gets punched. That was kind of what I felt, but we'll see. It's going to need a lot more testing. That was thrown out because I knew that was going to be pushed to one side because there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I've got to get done. So that's that. I haven't looked at the multiplayer rules for a week since I put it in. A couple of people have asked me. Sam's got the chat room on the board there that people can put stuff into, and yeah, if anybody's got any feedback about that, or if they've been able to play it with other people, let me know. Stick with it if you can for like a level. If you've got 3 people you're playing, and just make a note and see what you think about the combat system. It's very different than anything I've ever seen before. So I'm always trying to innovate when it comes to these things. So we just to see. I've certainly never seen anything like it, and I don't know where the idea came from. It just popped into my brain when I was brushing my teeth one morning. Will there be... Stefan says, will there be inlands, rules, encounters in realms, or is that for later? Oh my god, there are so many encounters in land, Stefan. Your brain will explode. So there is there are 34 different types of land, right? So from barren, burnt woodlands, forgotten monuments, lakes, mounds, occupied towers, rivers, shrubland, stone circles, stone walls, woodland, abandoned orchards. There's so many different. Each one of those has an encounter table, which has a series of results. You roll on that every time you reveal a plot that has one type of land in it. That type of land then may change based on the encounter. You may encounter a cave or a house, and it's complex. So it's like exploring the dungeon to a certain extent. You'll open a plot is a room. It has an encounter, but these are based on a wider area, different types of land. They're external. They'll have links. They'll have quests that kind of connect things. But not just that. That's the exploration. You can build structures in these plots and manage them. You have sheets you can write stuff down on. You can look at this as an overland explorer, but also a realm builder. It's called 2D6 Realm. It is the overland crawler, but you've got lots of options, and ultimately you can build yourself up to create mythical armor and fabled weapons that then can take you to the legendary dungeon. So yes, will there be? There's going to be so much stuff, Stefan. So James Michael says, picked up IST this week, hoping to try it out this weekend. So we'll have a little aside, just so that we get a little bit of a word in here, for Scott. Scott's Ithacus Bane. I've linked his latest video in the 2d6 room to the little post I did about IST. I don't want to bring too much other stuff into that Facebook room. We don't have a Facebook page for IST, International Intergalactic Space Trader, but Scott has done a beautiful series, a playthrough. His first video explains it, and then he does a bit of playthrough of his stuff. So thank you, Scott. It is fantastic. I've watched the first 3 videos. There's 2 more that I'm going to watch, so I'm looking forward to watching those, and he really explains it well. So yes, let me know how you get on with that, please, James. That would be fantastic. Thank you, Scott, for doing those videos. Scott is a really important member of the community. He's a wise head with a sense of humor, and he's bringing it. Thank you. Cemeteries, barrows, yes, absolutely. Meant Island. I don't know what you mean, Stefan. Islands? Are they going to be islands? Yeah, there's probably going to be islands, I should imagine, if that's what you mean. Cemetery would be a good one. Indeed. That sounds like it'd be one of the building encounters. So there'll be a cemetery with maybe a mausoleum and graves and all that stuff. Yes. Creepy Hero. Why am I picturing my character decked out in legendary armor, thinking they are invisible, then dying horribly in the first room on the legendary dungeon? Well, I think that'll be difficult to do. But it would be impressive if you did. It would be very sad if you did. Imagine getting all that way just to die in the first room. There's going to be someone very angry that happens to. Hopefully it doesn't though. Yeah, Cody says he's got 3 videos already. Indeed, Scott did a great job. He really did a really good job. I just think people need to make sure they watch his videos and see what he's up to. Oh, did we want an IST chat somewhere to keep all of the questions and comments together? That is a good. I need to think about that, Sam, because if we open a chat on, we need to look at options. Maybe there's another. I want to know how to do tabs on it, maybe. I don't know. We need to look at options. I'm a bit worried about the chat because the thing about the chat is, I think, not in a negative way, okay, but it's very difficult for me to, in my brain, keep everything, all the chats and the kind of the social expectation within a kind of manageable stress zone. I get a bit concerned about not going into some of these places and seeing what's going on, and I don't want to sort of let people down. I'm a bit of a pleaser. It is a bit of a problem that I have. I acknowledge that. I try and please everybody, and you can't please everybody all the time. And it's very difficult when you're someone like when I'm like that, and people who then don't get pleased are even more outraged that they're not pleased because the pleaser isn't pleasing them. Whew. So yeah, we need to. Yeah, Sam, I think we need to look at that. What options there are within that Facebook page, because that's where we're all at, isn't it? It feels weird not to have. I don't want to change it to like DR Games Room because everybody's there for 2D6 Dungeon. In fact, 2D6 Dungeon is the core. I mean, all that's coming after it is expansions of it. So there's going to be tons of content over the next couple of years. So, a haunted house by the cemetery for the constable to clear. Well, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it'll be something like that. We'll have some way of working the fear mechanism into it, maybe. I've got to think about the haunted house. At the moment, it stands as a level 1 experience. It's kind of like an entry experience for the constable. It's quite a sort of special environment. So I need to think about how that's going to work. Yeah, no, Sam, I need ideas like that, though. Don't stop thinking them, all right? It is, we just need to put it in the right context. Indeed. Yes, indeed, Mark. Tom, could you make the one roll, then make a second roll somehow using your discipline total? I mean, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I think it may. I don't think it's as straightforward as that, but potentially, you know, I mean, my instinct is no, but Tom, I'm going to write it down so I can think about it. Okay. Fantastic. Right. Okay. You are awesome, guys. I love you. We will need a bigger stick. Okay, so in my update here, I have put main focus has been on land type encounter tables, as I was explaining before. These are the core tables in the game. They are the springboard for all encounters experienced while exploring the land. When you roll on them with 2d6, you read an entry that is specially designed for that plot. So there's going to be, like, as I was saying, we don't need to go over that again. But I did want to say that these tables are woven into the lore of Corradine. So there are things that come in, like the ancient history of the land, and some characters that get woven in, and there are special NPCs that you find on different bits of land, and they can work for you and stuff like that. So that has kind of slowed the beginning bit down a little bit as I was working on the lore, but I have now separated out the lore from the rule book. It's not, they're going to be the same book still, but there's something at the back. But for anybody who's going to be reading it, the lore is going to be drilled down on and as a separate document, because I was sending those files to people and realised they're massive. You're not going to want to read through that each time, so they're going to be separated into the rules for testers. Of course, it all remains one book for the final thing, with the lore at the back, with the lovely black and white illustrations by Jake. So that's going to be exciting. We have so there's going to be a continuity through the table and stories revealed. So as with, say, the haunted house or the dungeon, there are certain things you can discover and evolve, and then you can create your own stories as well, of course, which I'm excited to hear about when they do. So we have some other encounter tables. So, for example, this week, specific tables that I created were bottom of the hole encounter table 1. I thought that was quite a funky name. There are these massive holes you can find in land. You can climb down to the bottom of them and experience what's at the bottom. Low magic cursed creature table. So low magic is a thing in this, and as it was with the haunted house. And sometimes a creature can be cursed, and something can happen, like they can explode, or they can come back alive again, stronger. So there are certain things that can happen there. And there's an old stone ruin table, so the mythos of the land is going to play a part in some of the places that you explore, especially the Heartland. The Heartland is a very special place. It's the centre of the world, and it's where you live, but it was once something else. I'm not going to go too much into that. Will the NPCs have a page link in the lore pages? Well, potentially. The NPCs that you encounter, some of them are just like people that are connected to that land, that square, that type of land, say. My typing is crap tonight. Crap. My typing is carp tonight. Something very fishy about that. Yeah, so you can see, the reason why I put that in there is because it gives you an idea that as I'm doing these encounters, I'm bringing in other tables. So the book's going to have a slightly different layout than the last one as well. The tables, those, my oddly named tables, are going to be at the back of the book, like they were before. But the land types are going to have, their tables are going to be portrait, because it's more of a geographical type encyclopedia rather than just a list of tables, because there's some writing with each page that goes along, so it's a kind of different feel. So you'll see that's going to be how it works. Also, I've been creating new creature cards. We've got the Crowned Gorletu and the Iron Troll and the Swamp Wyvern. So those are, I've done 3 of each of those, partly to help me envision some of the creatures that live in the landscape, and so I can, when I'm thinking about encounters as well, these creatures become part of that. So it's kind of natural kind of knock-on effect to doing the encounter tables. And then finally on here, I put down that we have been getting together some of the level 10 adventurers character sheets that are going to go in the back of the book as pre-generated character sheets that people can just pick up and use, rather than, so that they feel like they can play a legendary character even if they haven't been able to get to the end of the dungeon, which some people haven't been able to. So Jeff's helping me with that, which is fantastic. Thank you, Jeff. And they're going to be very handy, but also, you know, interesting for people to read, to see what's happening on that front. So where are the Frost Gremlins? Indeed. Right, good, we've done that. Let's look at the Frost Gremlins. Good point. And we haven't crashed so far, have we? I know I'm tempting fate by saying that, but we haven't yet. Right. I can hear my son is on his computer above me. He's above me. And he's chatting away to somebody, so no doubt hammering the internet. Don't forget to make some pre-made level 10 characters with the new ancestries. Ooh, that is a creepy hero. I don't know whether there's going to be any. Because these are all characters from the past, and the ancestry is going in with the new book. That is a good one. Did you just throw gremlins into the works? You did. Right, making that note. Okay. Maybe in future releases, quite possibly. We'll just have to see. But that is a really good point. So, I was kind of like, how can I thank people for backing, send out something a bit festive. It's always difficult to know how to label these things, because my instinct is to say this is a Christmas card, but obviously a lot of people don't celebrate Christmas, and I don't want to sort of leave those guys out. So it's kind of a festive, seasonal greetings type thing. I don't even know whether festive means Christmassy or whether that, you know, there's a lot of things I'm sort of tripping over here. But this is just designed as a kind of a holidays thank you release that is going out there to hang on a sec, let me just check my sound. Good, that works. And it's I thought, right, I'll do a creature. Yep. A gremlin. I'm a massive Gremlins fan. and I thought, well, how can we work Gremlins in? I like Frost Gremlins. They've got this lovely picture. I can't remember the artist's name. I bought that, and I thought, yes, let's do it. I've missed a few here. Lol, the Frost Gremlin sheet is hilarious. I can imagine rolling for them and saying, "Oh no, get back here, you little snot!" Right. Loki. Sorry, I completely slaughtered that, didn't I? Lokorian. Yes, they are fun. Nice flavour on the gremlin. Thank you, James. You thank us by producing awesome products. That's all you need to do. Well, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you, creepy hero. Appreciate that. It fits winter time. It's nothing else, so it's perfect. Yeah, exactly. Will there be possible ancestral gear to be found? I don't quite know in what terms you mean, Mark. Put that another way. They need to make Gremlins 3 already, lol. Gremlins 2 is underrated and my personal favourite. I love Gremlins 2 and Gremlins 1. 1 has a real kind of nostalgia about it. It's kind of got that real... It's got a real... a wonderful 80s vibe. I just love it. I just love it. It's sad, it's tragic, it's funny. There's those classic Gremlin explosion scenes. I haven't watched it yet this year, but I watch it every year, so I will be watching it. It is a bit of a tradition for me. So the Frost Gremlin, health points 4, XP 8, shift 1, roll on. I had a bit of a problem with the name of the table, but it's corrected now, and we'll look at that table in a minute for treasure. This gremlin picks pickpockets on an unshifted primary 1 if you roll a 1 to hit. This is a new thing, okay? Now, I hadn't anticipated how this would be interpreted, and Jeff, thank you, Jeff, pointing out to me that people would just shift away from it. So I put in here, this is the first time, unshifted primary 1. So it's the first roll that you do, okay? It steals 1 random gem of your highest quality and runs off. The combat ends. That simple. It can just be a little guy, sneaks in, takes your gem, off he goes. Now, he also does attack. He's got dart in hand, pickpockets 1 gold coin from your pack and swallows it. To get your coins back, you become blooded. Okay? So the whole thing about he's got no... And he just doesn't want to hurt anybody. Anyway, he's too scared. It's just like a little creepy gremlin who wants to steal coins and gems. Okay. I was playing a level with the second ancestry. I did send you a question about clarity about the natural armor. I'm happy to work on carrying it through to level 10. Oh, Ebbet. That would be great. I didn't see that question. Could you resend that to me? I usually get back. I try and get back to every email. Sometimes the way Google does it lists them and it has this kind of cascading effect on the email. And sometimes I notice I might miss some emails. So resend that to me. The natural armor, yes, that is potentially one thing where it could be a problem. Maybe gear that only a certain ancestry can use or certain ancestry gets better use of. True. As a character might find quests for the past relative sword or armor. Oh, I see. I'll have to have a think about that. Jim, good to see you. Saying, God, I hate the Gmail stacking thing. Oh my God, I hate it. Why do they do it? It's just like I'm so confused by it. That's after years of using it. Will there be new conditions like blinding or poison? That is a really good point, actually. Poison exists in a kind of a small way. So we do have poison. It's very it's kind of it's like some of the level 1 creatures have it. I left a bit. If I was to look across the creatures, I could say that maybe some of the high level creatures have less effects and less poisoning. So there is some of it. There is some in the game. Jeff, I hate the way Gmail stacks messages. Me too. That character art reminds me of the little goblin gremlin creature from Stephen King's Cat's Eye. The shot you bam or love it. I can imagine these guys running around snatching valuables. Exactly. Just resend it. It should be at the top. Nice, Jim, bud. I always see you. Don't worry. Okay. So we've got these small blue gremlins emerge from below when the surface world enters midwinter. They infiltrate dungeons and caves unaffected by the freezing weather. They lust after gemstones. There they are. The Frost Gremlin burps. This is the mishap roll. The Frost Gremlin burps and a random low quality gem flies from its mouth. You catch it. Roll on GMT1. On their prime attack, it darts forward through your grasp and steals 3 gems from your pouch. Then it is gone. Escaped. Now, this is hilarious. Okay, so Clive, I think, Jeff, maybe some other people pointed out to me the way that I had phrased it before. It darts forwards through your legs, reaches up, and steals 3 gems. In the moment, I hadn't anticipated how that could have been interpreted. I thought it was funny, but then I even thought about it. I didn't think about it deep enough. So I thought I'd better just slightly adjust that so it doesn't look like he's grabbing the crown jewels, so to speak. Do I get my stolen gold coin back after I kill it? Yeah, you can. It says here, to get your coins back, you become blooded. That means there is definitely a process involved. That would have been hilarious, James. Somewhere circulating there is an image of that. So yeah, there is somewhere you can find. It may be limited to a few. It's a limited edition version that is unfortunately. It's just I was going to leave it. And I thought, oh God, going to get someone who's going to give me severe stress for making it sound like I'm implicating some kind of sexual act. So, and it would be interesting to see with this if this now Jeff came up with a good idea about maybe encountering more than one gremlin. Now, in the context of how this works, and we're going to look at how this works in a sec. In fact, maybe we'll talk about that first. But you could, if you wanted to, implement more gremlins if you felt like it'd be more fun that way. Right, so let me just skip to this bit. So that was the one creature card there. That's the special edition. And then we've got the event card. This is the one that goes with the gremlins. So this is separate. Now, I know it looks like a lot of text. I just couldn't get away from it. This is how they're going to be. It's something you hold and read. There's not going to be many of them. But this is a new type of card. It is an event card. And it's new to the game. I love this creature. Changes things up a bit. Exactly. It's different. It darts through your legs, taking a gem and ending your ancestry. Well, I mean, if it took one gem, it might not end the ancestry. I think things can work with one. Someone once told me. Ooh, like the innuendos in Disney movies. Yes. There aren't there just like a series of viral videos about all the hidden messages in Disney videos. They're quite hilarious to watch. I would have gone with 2 gems and went with it. Yeah. No worries, looks good. Mark, are you from Australia, my friend? No worries, mate. Okay, so the event, the coming of the Frost Gremlins. Midwinter was hit hard. Midwinter has hit hard and snow covers the land. Word is spreading that small blue goblinoids have been seen around some local caves. They were driven off by an angry farmer who was protecting their herd. You know these little beasts to be frost gremlins, and that until the cold subsides, there is a chance you will come across them as you go about your adventures. Application. So this is the bit here. So I had to try and kind of get this in here. And people are probably going to have questions, but hopefully they can kind of go with it. There's not a lot of room here to put stuff in. Application. If the Frost Gremlins have been sighted in your area, if you want to include them in your game, whenever you search a chest or bag, roll a d6. On a 1 to 2, a Frost Gremlin jumps out and attacks. It has been hiding and waiting for a victim to come along to surprise them. It attacks first. And then, if we go back, the treasure you find on the gremlin is this little table here. So a pouch is in its pouch is a ball of silver worth d6 plus 2 silver coins. 2, you find 1 gold coin clenched in its little icy fist. 3, it has a low quality sapphire mounted on a toe ring. Embedded in its navel is a fluffy mid quality pearl. You notice now that its left eye is a low quality ruby. It has thrown up 2 low quality gems. Roll on GMT1 times 2. Is there? Oh, have I miscited? Oh well, we have to go. There's no room. That's the excuse. Fluffy, yeah. Fluffy belly button, man. That's what he's got. This disgusting little gremlin. So you can basically have the event card. If you've played the event in your game, you can keep the event card beside you. And ooh. And who knows what else is in that navel, So you keep the card beside you, and there it reminds you of what you need to do. So you may have a couple of event cards. So there might be some other events that are going on that are affecting the gameplay, and there are going to be some kind of event card expansions or additions as we go along. If you find a gremlin, after you defeat it, can you collect the original contents of the chest bag, or did the gremlin replace them? Agador. That is a great question, and I hadn't even thought about it. But yes, you can. So basically, just roll on the chest, find out what's in there after you've dealt with the gremlin, or it's run off with one of your gems, or stuck up and taken those 2 gems. Do you need a special tool to remove it from the navel? Just a spoon. Just make sure you wash it after. So yeah, it was meant to be like a bit tongue in cheek, bit of fun. Yeah. No, we've had a lot of support and help from certain people. So we have printed a limited number of these cards, and they are going out to those people that have been particularly helpful, and yeah, so there will be some circulated to those guys as a thank you. Sam's coming. Blessed tweezers. You may want to look at the cursed tweezers for doing that role. There's a merchant in the realm that sells special spoons for that purpose. Absolutely, yeah. No, that's these fellas. They're not they're not the sort of people you invite to a dinner party. Put it that way. Mm. Fantastic, Bill. They are like salad tongs. Yeah, definitely. So no, I was really pleased with that. So I'm going to be coming up with some other ideas for these event cards. We're going to be looking at other systems. So it probably will involve a creature. Some of them. So it may be along the lines of some kind of infestation, maybe. So some kind of insect, potentially. So I have to have a look. Are there any encounters that contradict each other and can't be used at the same time? Are there any encounters that contradict each other? Oh, Brian, what have you put? You'll use fluffle snappers. That's, well, you know, anyway you like, Brian. Wolf Shield Bears, if you're worried about space for the sighted fix, take... Oh, yes. Yes, no, you're not wrong. I could mix it around. That's just me kind of covering up for a mistake that I thought I had corrected. But yeah. No, well, I'll sort that out. We'll definitely get that sorted. Are there any encounters that contradict each other and can't be used at the same time? I don't think so. Look, as this system, as 2d6 Dungeon grows, and we get the more expansions and there's more content, we may find ourselves in a situation where some entries on encounter tables might contradict something further away. But again, there's an inbuilt kind of kind of flexibility. Let's try inventive usage. I'm trying to think of my own term that you can apply to it and just kind of work around it. If that's what you mean, I don't quite know what you mean, Creepy Hero. So, yeah, Bez, I'll correct that. We'll come up with something. Glad to see the hamster is doing a better job this week. Have you fed it with treacle to keep it going? I don't know what you're talking about, Mark. What did I say? What hamster was I talking about last week? This is too much spillage. Kind of. Whew, okay. Fantastic. So I was really pleased with these. It's going to be a nice, easy way to expand the game out and change things. If we could do it like we could do some kind of environmental effect, whereby it could be really hot, say for example, and the hamster's running your computer. Yes. Come on, guys, keep it up. And yeah, so we could have some weather events. Well, there are with the at the end of the turn you roll for an event each turn, and some of those are weather related. But with this, it may be that we have an event would be heat wave. And we'll have a bit of blurb. It'll be event heat wave. For some reason, it's unusually hot this time of year. It's slowing everything down. Fires are starting in the local area, and people are concerned that their crops are going to die. Application maybe something like you do not harvest any crops this year from your farms. When fighting, -1 shift. When fighting outdoors, -1 shift, or that sort of thing. Because there encounters fights outside now. So, and then that could have an effect. We put that there. There might be a cumulative effect. So there might be a number of different conditions. So, but that, of course, isn't priority at the moment. That is basically something that will just enhance the core content, which is the land encounter tables, which is what I'm working on at the moment. And I'm doing 2 a day at the moment, and that is really cool. Sometimes I get detoured slightly because I'm doing other tables that expand off them, but no, it's certainly coming together really nicely. So, just saw the Christmas tree. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you can see it there. Look, we go for the classic 80s color lights. A lot of people go for just one color light, which is great, but we always go for the color light effect over there. We've got lots of lots of baubles, but they're all sorts of different types. You can see it there. Yeah. Potions evaporate in the heat. That's another great idea. Something like that. We did. Yeah, there is one that does that. There is a condition already that does that. So, one creature you encounter evaporates your heat, or is it? Oh, I can't remember now. On one table. Always preferred colour lights. James, high five. Thanks, Sam. I missed something here. Mark and Sam are on the same wavelength. I lost Dark Shell Potion Bomb on one of the dungeon levels. Oh, excellent. There you go, Jeff. Thanks. Anybody for ask for a high five? Yeah. So good stuff. So that's exciting, and we'll kind of implement that. No. Yeah. So you right in there?
Yeah.
There, you heard her. She's working behind the door there, in the sitting room, just loading bags up with product, which is fantastic. The shop's doing very well at the moment as well. I always assume Toby's computer is run by a team of hamsters, no matter how much he upgrades it. Guys, down there, come on, faster on the wheel, faster. Yeah, they're oh, you can hear him. Tell her we say hi. They say hi.
Hi.
She's not very well at the moment. Frank, that stuff's nearly on the way to you. I'm sad. I'm a sad old git, Mark says, who doesn't normally high five. Come on, Mark. Everybody, we think Mark should do a high five. Come on, Mark. Mark, let me see. Let's do it. We need to change Mark today. Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it. Can we see it in there? Do it. Do it. Everybody's doing it. Mark's like, no. I will not high five. Do it. Mark. No pressure. No. Oh dear. Well, maybe one day we'll come in and we would have had I'm stubborn. Well done, Jim. Hit the button if you think he should. Right, okay, I think maybe this is enough. We've pressurised Mark enough now, I think. I think he's good fun though. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. John, that's a big red one. John, oh, Frank, both of you got you obviously high five a lot. That is a big red swollen hand. Then you've just been soaked. Yes. Lots of high fives. I think that this community deserves a bit of high fiving from me, because you guys do great jobs and you do fantastic. So no, it's been a lot of fun so far, and fingers crossed it just continues to stay the same. Jollity. Indeed. Yeah, high-fiving wasn't really something that I did when we were younger, I don't think. I still feel a little bit hesitant about fist pump. People occasionally will fist pump. I don't know what people feel about fist pumping. But you're kind of like, yeah, the shot, I never did the elbows. That's like, it's like when I was a kid, like people would just come up to you and try and sort of knock you with their elbow or something, like some violent. It's Americanisms, Mark says. Agreed. Bloody hand. Oh, I see. Right. Oh. Thank you, Creepy. It's been a blast. So happy to continue to see the game grow. I have to go now. Catch you in the next one. Vincent, good to see you, my friend. As always, Bill comes in with what is that? A Trekkie. Bill's a Trekkie. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Indeed. You're watching too much movies. It's way less dangerous than you think. Again, the fist pumping was always like, I felt like I'm too old to fist pump. I see young people doing it, and I'm like, if I do it, I feel like if someone comes up to me and does a fist pump, then don't get me wrong, I'll fist pump them back. But I'll be like, I feel like I'm trying to be 25. It feels like a very sort of down with the guys type thing. I don't know what people feel about that. Do people fist pump here? Unless you're John Wick. Mark definitely doesn't fist pump. I mean, there's definitely no way Mark does that. Mark, you got to tell us. And the whole elbows, I can understand why you want to do it. It makes sense. It's like sneezing into your... See that? I tried to... coughing into your arm. Again, I can see why that makes sense. It's clear. Not if I can help it, Mark says. But again, I always find that kind of weird. And I kind of almost go for my armpit. In my armpit. Oh, God. My kids would just be saying, they're so embarrassed by me. Kind of like chest pump. Blood. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You see those guys that go up high. And you're like, oh, my God. It's just like, I just look at it, I think, he's going to injure himself. Heads clash. But, that's quite a big thing, isn't it? If you're wearing like American football armor, what they kit. Oh yeah, man, yeah, Mark, no problem. Fist pump, yes. Chest pump, no. I'm pure handshaker all the time. Bang. I just found it so hard not to do it during COVID. It's like, because I'm in with the handshake straight away, and when that was blown out of the water, I was like, I like to get in, handshake, or a hug. I like a hug, you know. Oh, the slap on the behind. Jeff comes in there. Hang on a sec, let me just catch up here. Embarrassing the kids is a joy of parenthood. Yeah, it's gone beyond that for me now. Now I just want to try and be as good a dad as I can be, because they're all getting very serious about their lives, and I feel like it's like I've got to try and be serious. Otherwise, they're adults. 2 of them are adults now, and they're not going to take me seriously if I can't kind of be a decent father, you know. I don't know. These things they go through my mind. Embarrassing your kids. Oh yes. I never understood the slap on the behind. I am with you on that one, Jeff. I never played. The sport that I played was badminton. It wasn't like a team sport. So although I played quite a lot of football, there was definitely, back in my day, there was no slapping of butts. Now there may have been in football, but I don't know. I mean, listen, it would shock me if someone slapped me on the butt. I have to be honest. I've been told all my life not to slap girls on the butts, but it's fine to slap blokes on the butts. You know, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. Firm handshakes, the best. Jim, I'm down with you, bud. We'd meet. Good firm handshake. You know, perfect. As long as the handshake isn't a weak lettuce. Yeah, of course. Blimey, Mark. You. No weak handshakes. No fist pumps. No high fives. Agreed. Kids need a good embarrassment every now and then. They do, James. You're right. That is true. They need to, but yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. I'm not like a normal dad. I'm kind of like, I do this, and you know, I think as my kids get older, they appreciate it more and more that I'm creative. But before, it's like, you know, dads meant to go out and, I mean, I was a teacher, so that was important. I'm a hugger also, Bill. COVID was terrible for me. Exactly. I like to. I go in for a hug, but I'm British as well, so that is a bit of a weird thing. More increasingly, people hug, but then they didn't because of COVID, and I think people are trying to get back to that. I personally don't mind a good hug. Jeff, it's totally fine as long as you say good game after. Yeah. Well, you know, listen, I'm happy for people to slap people's butts if that's okay with them. Go and slap butts as much as you like. Fine. Just go and do it. If everybody's happy to slap butts, slap butts. And it's not for me, but if someone slapped my butt, I'd probably sort of kind of react in a bit of a jolt. And I'd probably think, that was a little bit unnecessary, probably. You know, unless it was my wife. And I welcome that sort. No, let's not go there. So, Jeff, it's totally fine as... So, Creepy says, no, Sam, it's not. Behind slap make you feel violated. I like the way Tom's written this. Behind slap make you feel violated. Like a robot. James, I'm embarrassed. James says, I still embarrass my kids and they're 19 and 23. Mine are, they're going to be 21, 19 and 16 soon. They're just virtually their birthdays. You'd turn around looking for a Frost Gremlin if you ever felt a slap on the rear. Well, if it came through my legs and reached up to grab the crown jewels, yeah, definitely. What is normal? I always tell my kids being normal is boring. James, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Sam said she loves this chat. I love it as well. I hope the people watching the vlog back aren't too disappointed. I'm not talking more about the Frost Gremlins. It's nice just to catch up with people. The one rule should no physical contact ever. Jim! What? The only rule should no physical contact ever? Is that like... So, hang on, Jim. Are you saying you don't hug people? Because that's fine. I mean, we all got our own ways. I am interested to sort of get a bearing on how people feel about these things. But I think there are certain regions which are preserved for other activities of a more intimate nature, I would say. I feel like Bill's throwing out a question to Sam there. Poor Sam. There aren't that many girls in the chat, so Sam's definitely in charge here. I'm in my 50s and my parents still embarrass me. Oh, that is a good point. How many people are in that situation? Well, I will probably embarrass my mum. It's that way around now. So, my mum's the nicest person in the world. I'm not biased. And sometimes I'm a bit pushy, so if I feel like someone's taking advantage of her, I will kind of step in and say, well, actually, I think that she's fine having this one, thank you. And my mum would sort of be really embarrassed. But you got to protect your mums. The only rule should be only my wife is allowed that level of contact. Jim, fair enough. Right, gotta catch those Z's. Take care, Matt. Good to have you here, my friend. Thank you very much for being here. Jim, unless they're really nice or good friends. Okay. I got slapped on the back once walking through the lunchroom on a construction site. I almost punched the guy in the face. Just to notice last minute it was the 5'2" French girl messing around. You see what? Yeah, I mean, that is the messing around thing, isn't it? If it's a guy slapping another guy's butt, it's very much viewed as messing around, kind of lad jokes and stuff. But in this day and age, it could be a come on, couldn't it? I mean, let's face it. But on the other hand, when I was in the reserves, the jump master always slapped your butt after checking over your rappel harness. He did this for every single person. I didn't feel singled out. She was laughing too much, lol. Okay. Cool. Who would have thought when we started this stream today, we'd end up talking about butt slapping? Pretty sure it wasn't sexual for your jump master. Yeah. No. I mean, I guess, in a way, the butt is an obvious place to slap, isn't it? It kind of it's there, it sticks out, it's fleshy. That and your back, good slapping zones. But again, I think society dictates the butt for a lot of people is a personal area that should be avoided. Yeah. It's just nice to have a chat. It's nice to talk about something a bit silly. I hope no one's offended by this butt slapping conversation. Yes, good. Fantastic. Right. Well, unless anybody has got any questions or wants to highlight something else, I think this has naturally reached its conclusion. What a fantastic stream it has been. I'm going to try and do an update. Again, probably be doing an update for the Kickstarter on Monday. I'll try and do Mondays and Thursdays, I think, each week, depending on, stretch goals and stuff like that. I think with any, I don't know whether people know much about Kickstarters, but you get the majority of the backers at the beginning and then at the end. In the middle, it becomes very much a lull. That's generally the way of things. So we'll see kind of a big rise at the beginning, and then at the end it will hopefully shoot up again. And we'll put some more stretch goals on there and see how that goes. Mark says, but I'm not going to lower the tone any further. What I'm looking from you, Mark, is a high five, and you know it. Creepy, thanks as always for another awesome stream. Thanks, Creepy Hero, for making an awesome stream. Bill, it has been great fun tonight. Thanks. I'm off to dinner. Have a good dinner, Bill. I do too many Kickstarters, etc. I'm interested to see if you get the jump after the holidays are over. Yeah. Guys, it has been great fun. I will catch up with you very soon. Thank you for picking up my spirits, because I came in this evening, I was very tired, and I thought, oh God, I hope I can give enough tonight. And hopefully I have. So it's been fun. High fives and butt slaps to everyone all night. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Bye, Bez. Take care. Bye, Jim. Yeah. Take care. Good night, all. Remember, no inappropriate touching. Great chat, everyone. Take care. Take care, Johnny. Spread the word. And I will be back again on Thursday next week. Incidentally, Thursday, it's very near Christmas, but I do want to do a special one-off stream where I play a fighting fantasy book. So I think I might do something like the Caverns of the Snow Witch, because it feels like the most Christmassy fighting fantasy book. Let me know if you feel that is something that you would like. If you put it in the comments below in the YouTube video, that would be very handy. If I get like 5 or 6 people that say yes, we'd like to see you read, and then you guys can help me pick which way I go in the adventure, that would be fantastic. Kevin suggested it. I've done some stuff like that before, and it would be a lot of fun to do that. So, yep. No, that's a fighting fantasy book, Mark. So it's something that's written many years ago, and I just thought it'd be nice to do it. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate that. Yeah. So I'm going to do that, but that will be separate from our dev stream. So it would be maybe, I don't know, maybe a day before the dev stream. We'll see. I'll put it out there. It'll just be like a casual thing where I'll have the book with the camera, and we'll look and we'll read it. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know whether Caverns of the Snow Witch is online. I'll have a look. But I felt like that was the one I wanted to do, and maybe I'll try and draw a map as well to go along with it. We'll see. I think that's an accurate historical statement, Sam says. Yeah. Oh, I'd love to go to Canada. Right. See you guys. Take care. I will catch up with you very soon. Awesome stuff.